Remember how I said that I wasn't really expecting much from Big City Green? Yeah, well, with this show, Space Chickens in Space, I wasn't expecting anything at all. I had a lot of doubt for this show ever since I first heard of it, in all honesty. Therefore, my expectations for this show weren't extremely low. I just didn't have any at all. I kind of hinted at this in my final space review.
But whenever Seth MacFarlane also happens to create a sci-fi show, it really makes you wonder. I haven't seen that show, but I have seen the others, and let me tell you, most of them aren't not very good. All I know is Space Chickens in Space, good luck.
But unfortunately, much unlike Big City Greens, Space Chickens in Space is exactly what I expected it to be. It's not the worst show ever, but I wouldn't call it good by any stretch of the imagination. At the time of writing this script, I have seen 16 episodes of the show, and only 2 of them I could actually consider good. Not all of the other 14 would I consider bad, as some of them are just in the middle. The ones that are bad, though, are the ones that really annoyed me. Because this show is the most Nickelodeon show on Disney that I have ever seen. This show looks like Breadwinners, and it kinda acts like it sometimes. There is a lot of screaming and just loudness within the show. The stuttering, constant barking out of fear, and close-ups aren't helping either. This show does remind me more of another show, Fishhooks. Yeah, remember that show? The reason why I say this is because there are some obvious similarities past it being another Disney show and some aesthetics. This show has 3 main characters, a tall male, a shorter male, and a female. All characters go to middle school, none of the characters are human, and only rarely venture outside of their home or school. They are also both comedy-based. Yeah, that explains both shows fairly well, I think. The only difference is that the main characters here are actually siblings, so there isn't any frustrating crush plot going on here. Yeah, I might review Fishhooks someday. Who knows? So, I suppose I should talk about the characters in Space Chickens in Space. We have Chuck, who is the main character, according to Wikipedia at least. Chuck is like the worst character of the show. He is actually one of my least favorite kinds of characters. He's an asshole who only ever cares about himself. He's loud and very pretentious for no real reason. We have his brother, Finley, who is the smart one of the show, only he doesn't act like it. He's just as loud as Chuck, and the two are always fighting. It's really annoying. We have Glarg, who is the principal of the middle school, but is also sometimes the teacher. In some episodes, he actually grades the papers and teaches the class. I seriously don't understand this. Anyway, he hates the chickens in the same way Mr. Crocker hates Timmy Turner and screams chickens the same way Crocker screams fairies. This would actually be funny, but there is one big problem with this. Crocker screaming and generally being loud is funny because he's the only one who is in the show. However, with Space Chickens in Space, near everyone is always screaming, so any comedy that would come out of it fails. It seriously wouldn't make any difference if Glarg said chickens at a normal voice. Actually, it might even be funny because it's a change of the normal. I waited until the end to actually mention her, but the last sibling we have is Starly, who is like the saving grace of the show, and other than reviewing it, of course, is the reason I kept watching the show. She's peaceful and is caring and isn't really loud until she gets mad, but it's actually kind of funny. She also has super strength for some reason, so since she is basically the only character in the show I actually like, let's talk about an episode with her in the focus. We start the episode with Starly surprising Narcy with a friendiversary gift. Before we continue, I would like to say this. Whereas Narcy has been in the show before, she has never been shown to be friends with Starly. So basically this friendship, or best friendship, was made only for this episode, and from what I've seen, doesn't continue after this. Anyway, Narcy hugs Starly, and Narcy looks into Starly's thoughts. Narcy sees that BFFs literally means forever with Starly. Narcy tells her that she is expecting too much out of their friendship, Finley tells Starly that he will build her a robot friend, but then he doesn't. Instead, they sneak into where the robots and weaponry are held within the school. They find a Killbot to be Starly's new best friend. Finley says that it's a bad idea, but when Starly and him both become in awe with the wiring...
Well, I don't want to be the voice of reason.
Oh my goodness, they actually did it. They actually made a Chuck line funny. Actually, though, he's not that bad in this episode. He helps once prior to this, and then does that joke, and that's about it. Less of him actually makes him likable. Huh. They turn on the Killbot and rewire it to where you can give it a command or a purpose, I guess.
What is my purpose?
You pass butter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, welcome to the club, pal.
Starly explains what a best friend is to the Killbot, in which she calls Wendy. Later during lunchtime, Narcy sees Wendy and Starly happy together and becomes, I would say, jealous, but I think it's more of a feeling like she made a mistake. Narcy gives Starly her present that she made in between this time, and Starly seems to like it. Wendy then defends her ground, embarrassing Starly during this reunion. Narcy runs off sad, and Starly is sad as well. Starly tells Wendy that sometimes friends need to be alone. However, since this command wasn't given to her during her boot up, this causes her to malfunction to her old ways to being a Killbot.
Super best friends, Starly and Wendy, gonna be just the two of us when I get rid of everyone else.
Wendy then makes the ship drunk and has her tell everyone to evacuate because of an infectious disease in which it doesn't have. It was all just a trap to get everyone to leave except for Starly, because Wendy wanted to show Starly her greatest gift of all time. No, it's not her T-posing, it's actually Starly's fantasy world come to life. Wendy then hugs Starly in an attempt to kill her. Starly breaks free, but then her present that she was going to give to Narcy falls out of her pocket.
It seems to me that you would prefer something more like this.
Now, if that doesn't sound like a crazy ex-girlfriend, I don't know what does. Narcy saves Starly, and then the two defeat Wendy whenever she is off guard. We end with Starly and Narcy being reunited and spending some time in Starly's fantasy world. Too bad that they aren't friends in other episodes. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a happy new year.
Sometimes I'm like a chicken, can't find my eggs, but I feel it in my feathers. Love will find a way. Can you feel the